Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Art 192, Digital Imaging / Photoshop, or you can reverse it, for the fall semester, or the spring semester 2022. Anyway, a continuation of what we were talking about on Monday. So it's an extended kind of orientation, if you will. If you have questions today, or if you also need help working with lessons, please let me know and we can do that. Now, I noticed that not all of you have logged into or sent me an email so that I can add you to our Google Drive folder, which is where you will turn in your lessons and the assignments. And if I didn't make it clear on Monday, I separate the two. Lessons are very much like working from a cookbook. The lessons are available on my shared Google Drive folder, all the files. So you follow the instructions and you end up with a result. The assignments, on the other hand, are equivalent to our tests. They demonstrate to me what you have learned from those lessons and applied them in a creative manner. So in order to be able to communicate with one another and in order for me to have access to your files, I want to make sure that we have access to Google Drive. So let's go ahead and I'll do that. I'm going to show you where it's at. So for example, if I go to I got a bunch of screens here, so I apologize. There we go. I'm going to bring this down here. So if we go to my inbox right here, this is for kirkmillerart@gmail.com. Okay, that's where you need to send me an email, and in the subject, put your name, Art 192, and Google Drive, so I can send you an invitation to join our shared Google Drive folder. It's really important that you do that, and the sooner the better. Otherwise, if you forget, you'll say, but I finished the projects and I thought I turned them in, or I did turn them in, but if I don't see them, I can't grade them. So when you open your Gmail, this is one of my Gmail accounts, in the upper right-hand corner, click right here. And this gives you all these little extra applications. And the one that we want is Drive. That's Google Drive. Okay, so it's taking a moment. And these are all the shared folders that I have for all of my classes. The one that will pertain to you will be either 192 Spring 2022 or 192B for the advanced class. And I only have 1 or 2 people in the advanced class, so they will be treated a little bit differently. So anyway, what I will do is if I double click in here, let's see how many of you have joined our Google Drive. And quite a few, but I need the entire class. So this is where you will upload. You'll see the shared folder, and you should see a folder for yourself. If you don't, or if I've misspelled your name, feel free to make corrections. This is where you will have access to all of the files. If I double click here, here are all of the files for all of the lessons. And everything is sort of bogging down here right now. So I apologize for that. That happens sometimes when I have so many applications running at the same time. There we go. So anyway, here are all of the lessons from lesson 1 to lesson 15. And if you recall from Monday, we're only doing lessons 1 through 12 this semester. The advanced students do 13 through 15. Okay. Very important. This is where, you know, if you can get your files from Peach Pit Press, that's fine. But these will be the files that I suggest that you use. And they are from the 2021 CC Classroom in a Book edition. Okay, so having said that, are there any questions from any of you? Yes, no? Okie doke. So back to, hold on here. I want to go back to my account, my my website. And I want to make sure that you have access, easy access to all of the tutorials that I have made for the lessons, the video tutorials. So the easiest way to get to them is to go to Kirk's Classes right here and go to video tutorials. And again, if you haven't watched the orientation video, please do so. And that will, again, talk about what I've been reintroducing to you this Monday and Wednesday. So if I go to video tutorials, it will take you to my YouTube channel. And there's a whole bunch of videos. And again, because I have other things going, it shouldn't slow down. I'm paying extra for a fast internet connection, and I don't know what's going on. Okay, so here are all of my playlists. Now, I have one for this semester, and as I'm recording this now, I will upload this. And that's what this one is right here. This is to view the full playlist. I really don't have anything on here except one or two videos. But you should, you know, if you miss a live webinar and you want to get current information about what we're doing in class, then I suggest that you go there. For all of the video tutorials that I have for Art 192, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see I have Art 192 Photoshop / digital imaging for the fall 2021 semester. That's last semester. If I click on full playlist, okay, again, it will take a moment here. I'll see all of the tutorials in order that I have provided for all of the lessons. Now, some of them take up more than one class time. So, but here they are from Lecture 1, Orientation, Lecture 2, Tour of Adobe Photoshop, and we'll be doing Lesson 1 in that lesson. I move on to Lesson 3. Actually, this is Lesson 2. Lecture 2, I think, I don't know which one. This is Lecture 3. But it's Lesson 2. Good afternoon, everybody. Whoa. Photoshop. Whoa. That's digital imaging. There you go. Semester of 20. Well, that's fine. But anyway, here are all of the video recordings for all of the lessons. And then in addition to that, if you know, I speak slowly, I stutter, I misspeak sometimes, I make mistakes. If you want, you can always click on this little gear icon right here. And you can change the playback speed. It's set to normal at the moment, but if you click on here, you can go ahead and you can change it. You can speed it up, slow it down. I wouldn't recommend slowing it down, but you can speed it up a bit and you'll go through the lessons a little bit quicker. And then at any point in time, if you need to stop, you know, you need to pause, rewind, play it back at a different speed, to get the information you need, then you can do so. So again, these are all the lessons here. And if you want to go back 1 or 2 more semesters, I have those as well. So if I go back again to my channel, go back to my YouTube channel. Come on. There we go. Let's go back one more time. want to close these. I don't want them up. Come on. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, so again, once again, you scroll through, and it goes in alphabetical order. So by the number of classes that I offer. So if you scroll down again, this was for the fall and spring 2020-21. So there's the spring, and then if you come over here, here's the one for the fall. Actually, no, that's the one for the spring right now. Where's the other one? This one right here. Spring, no, is this one 2022? There we go. Let's hang over this one. This is the one that I just showed you. So we have that one. We have older versions, but again, they're all pretty much the same. That's why I've let all of you use pretty much whichever textbook you want from 2019 to 2021, because all the lessons are almost identical to one another. Most of them are identical to one another. So all the video, rather than me repeat myself once again, you have all of these tutorials at your disposal. So there we have that. Again, any questions so far about what you need to do? If you do, just go ahead and raise your hand and I can allow you to speak. No? Okie doke. Well, then let me go back again. And again, under Kirk's classes, I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to go to Canvas. So again, once again, on Canvas, make sure that you have access to everything. This is the syllabus for Canvas. This is the email that I want you to use. This is my website to get you to the one that I just showed you. This is the link to required orientation video. And then if we view this in student mode, you will see, hold on here, student view, there we go. You will see all the due dates and the requirements for the class in terms of projects. So this should pop up in a minute, hopefully. It takes a little bit of time. So you'll begin with lesson 1 and work through pretty much lesson 4 is what I recommend. Lesson 4 covers layers. Lesson 1 gives you an overview of Photoshop. Lesson 2 covers basic retouching, restoring principles. Lesson 3 covers selections. Lesson 4 covers layers. And while we move on, I skip temporarily lesson 5 and go to lesson 6, which covers a more sophisticated way of making selections. But at that time, you will be making a postcard while we're doing the lessons. So it should be due about February 23rd. You got plenty of time. And then after that, we'll be moving on to the movie poster. And in my video tutorials, I explain basics of poster design from concept to completion. And then we will be working on a digital painting. That will be your third project. And again, I will be working on lessons as we're doing that. And at the same time, then the very final project, the last weeks of the class, you'll do the retouch, restore assignment. And again, for any examples from the postcard, movie poster, digital painting, I have those on my on the page for Kirk's classes. Not a lot of examples for the digital painting or the postcard, but there are some to give you an idea of what I consider to be good work. In addition to that, I think I mentioned on Monday that The lessons, I want you to put them up as you complete them onto Google Drive, but then I don't grade them individually. I wait until midterm to give you a progress report. And if I don't see many of them, I'll let you know. Or if I see half of them, or up through 6 or 7, we usually finish them a little bit early before the semester ends. But then when you complete them all, at the end of the semester, I count them. If you've done them all, you get a full 10 points. And for every one that you're missing, you lose a point. Now, this is equivalent to each of these assignments. So this would be 10 points, 10 points, 10, 10, and this is worth 10 points. So it's equivalent to 20% of your grade. Okay. And then as you complete each of these assignments, again, upload the original Photoshop file with all the layers into your Google Drive folder, and then I can see it, grade it, and then in Canvas, that's where you'll be able to view your grade, and I will place, few comments on it. If you want individual feedback in person, we can set up a time for you to have a one-on-one webinar, as I'm doing right now. And good. My voice sounds scratchy. Is that what you're saying? Yes, no. It is. It still sounds scratchy right now. I apologize. It's better now, a little bit. Okay. Do you need to attend the webinars every week? No. You can just do the lessons and the assignments, but you will need to watch or you should watch the videos. And then what I will do during every webinar is sort of give you an up-to-date synopsis of what we're doing that week, even though I post it in This Week in Class, just to let you know that, hey, by the end of the week, a lesson, a particular lesson should be completed, or, you should be on whichever lesson, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 10. And then I'll give you a heads up as to when projects are due. If there's anything special that you want me to cover, please let me know. And I will include that in my webinar. Does that make sense? I'm here for you as needed, since this is an online class. For the past several semesters, I have demonstrated in person. A handful of people have shown up. Sometimes nobody has shown up, maybe just 1 or 2. And I've taken those recordings and I posted them on I'm just drawing a blank at the moment, on YouTube. And then presume that everybody has watched them. And I can tell from the statistics that not everybody watches them, which is fine. If you can do the lessons on your own and you have a pretty good understanding of what the assignments are about and how to do it on yourself, then that's fine. I strongly recommend to be able to do the quality of assignment that I have on my website. You should probably be in touch with me and get some feedback. And during these webinars would be a good time to do that. That if you're, 1, 2, or 3 people show up, it's at that time that I will elevate you to in participants to a panelist, and you can share your screen and I can give you feedback and I can help you at that time before it's turned in. I also allow you to, even though I specify that late projects will be graded down, I encourage you to emphasize, to focus on doing a good job rather than just getting it in on time. So if you need a little bit more time, that's not a problem. Just make sure that you keep up with your work. That's the important thing, because a lot of people fall off at the end of the semester and are what really hurts them is that they won't do all of the tutorials, all the lessons, and they'll go from an A to a B or a B to a C. So I don't want to see that happen this semester. Anyway, that's pretty much it for me today. Unless you guys have something that you want to add or questions that you have, this is the time to ask questions. Have I answered everybody's questions? Yes, no? Yeah, okay. Elizabeth, I'm going to allow you to talk. You have your hand raised. Go ahead. Unmute.
Yeah. I was just wondering, so it says that you have to check in, like it's mandatory to check in with you. Do us attending these webinars count as the check-in?
Absolutely. That counts as a check-in, but if you don't, then just email me and say, and I've had students do that. Email me once a week and say, I'm just checking in. I'm here. You know, don't drop me, but you don't need to say that. But, you know, I'm here, and that's all I need to know. Make sure that you're on top of things and you haven't disappeared. In some instances, students, you know, their life changes, their work schedule changes. Any number of things can happen. Maybe you get discouraged with a class. I don't know. But I just don't hear from students from time to time. If you just email me and say, you know what, I need to drop, or please drop me, or I'm falling behind, but I plan on catching up. It's just the communication is really important. You know, I can't tell you how many times at the end of the semester I have dropped students because I didn't want to give them an F. I'm happy to reinstate students at that time, but if they feel that they can complete the work, but if I haven't heard from you in some way, then that's what's important. And so it can be either attending the webinars, it can be emailing me, whatever works for you. Okay, I have to make all of this flexible since we don't meet in real time, real space. Okay, because I know that this time that I specify for our webinars doesn't work for everyone. You know, the other people have other obligations at that time, or maybe you have another class, you know, that you just can't you know, leave. So before you guys leave today, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause my recording real quick, and I'm going to take roll. And see, that's a way of saying that, you know what, a minute.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, so if you are working from home and you're working, maybe it could be for another class, if you could just check into the webinar quickly, I will take roll and note that you're here and involved. If you can't attend, then go ahead and just email me at least once a week to touch base to let me know that you're here. And you can email me on Canvas. You can email me at kirkmillerart@gmail.com. It really doesn't matter, just to let me know that you're around. Okay, so I'm going to pause once again and recording. I need this.
Recording in progress.
So the question is, my book hasn't arrived. Do the videos have the instructions for the lessons? I take you step by step through the lessons. I try to make sure that they're as complete as possible. So without looking at the textbook, you should be able to complete the lessons if you follow along with my videos. Okay. And what I fail to to do in my videos. When the textbook arrives, then that should fill in the gaps. But there are things that I do in my videos that aren't always available in the textbook. You know, I'll suggest, you know what, this is how they have done it, but I think I found a better way of doing it. Or this is the way I would prefer to do it. And you have to discover for yourself, once you learn Photoshop, what works for you. You have to remember that all of these computer graphics tools, whether it be Adobe, you know, Photoshop, Illustrator, Dreamweaver, Premiere, or if you're working in 3D modeling and you're working in Blender or Whitewave, it doesn't matter. They're just tools. So, you know, you want to be able to use the tools and not have to be able to think about it, like which tool should I use now? It should become, if you plan on doing this a lot in the future and really, you know, getting involved in computer graphics, then what you want to do is, you know, to make these programs second nature. And you do have to use the programs a lot, or it's easy to forget. And believe me, when I teach web design or some of the more complicated programs like Lightwave, I have to use them all the time, because if I don't, I will forget key commands, I'll forget where things are located, and also keep up with the upgrades of the software, because from time to time, they will make changes, and they'll make additions that require that you just continually use it, because it's very easy to forget. It just takes a few weeks sometimes, you know, over the summer, things will change and you'll forget just about everything you've learned. Okay, so if there aren't any more questions, okay, yeah, if you're set, you know, we start a little slow, we pick up speed, and at the end, it will be incumbent upon you to watch the videos that I provided, especially the ones on retouching and restoring that were from lynda.com, that will give you really valuable information into tackling difficult retouch, restore jobs. Okay, so we'll finish the lessons, you know, earlier than probably within 12 weeks, maybe even a little bit earlier. And we have technically 17 weeks, class weeks that we meet. So the last 5 weeks, I generally, you know, provide tutorials from other people that cover, for example, different ways of approaching digital painting, that sort of thing, as well as retouching and restoring photos. I can do that myself, but others, I think, have done a better job of demonstrating those principles, so I hand it off to them. I would do that the same in class. If we were, you know, meeting in the classroom, I would go ahead and we would be watching those videos in class. So I really try to mirror exactly what I've done for the decades that I've taught in the classroom, but do it online. Okay, and it's worked in the classroom. Whether it's working online, I don't know. So we'll see. But again, before we wrap things up today, and we'll sign off, again, I want to make sure that everybody stays in constant communication with me. Don't worry about pestering me with emails or anything, because if you just want to say, I'm here, I'm working on the lessons, and I'm working on the project, I'll email you back and say, got it, thank you. You know, that's it. So you'll know that I received it. And when I get that weekly update, I'll make sure that you are get an attendance record to show that you are participating in the class. Okay. Okie doke. So did anybody have any difficulties getting licensing for Photoshop? I haven't asked that. Everybody's okay with that? No challenges, no difficulties? And installed and it's working okay on your computers? Okay. Well, if you do have problems, let me know. Sometimes it's an Adobe issue. Sometimes it's a College Wise has made it very easy. Good. Because students in the past have had, difficulty. Why? I don't know. But that's a good deal. I don't know if you got the College Wise version for 6 months or a year, but either way, you're doing good. It's a bargain. Okay, then. So I'm going to go ahead and wave to all of you, and I'm going to sign off if there aren't any more. That's it for this week. And remember, I put in the chat on Monday, it's a holiday, so we will not have a webinar. I'll just count that as a regular holiday. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to turn off the recording